everybody, it's me, Michelle. We are going to make another wonderful recipe today, and if you like steamed buns, then keep on watching. You can jazz up the recipe by making something like this, and if you're interested, let me know and I'll make a recipe for that. So let's start by going over the ingredients. So first we have all-purpose flour. And like always, all the ingredients amounts will be in the description box below. And next we have glutinous rice flour. This is the brand I use. Basically, this type of flour can be found in any Asian markets. I know there's a lot here, but on the top left, we have milk, and then we have cream next to it. Second row on the left, sugar, yeast, water. Third row from the left, we have 2 egg whites and baking powder. So let's get started. I like to dissolve my yeast first. Grab a pinch of the sugar into the warm water, dump the yeast in, stir that around until all the yeast has dissolved, and I just like to let it sit for about 5 to 8 minutes or so, or until it turns bubbly. So after it's been dissolved, just let it sit, and I'll show you how the yeast looks like after it's good to go. So I'm just going to mix all the dry ingredients together: all-purpose flour, glutinous flour, baking powder, and go ahead, stir that around, make sure everything has incorporated, and then I'm going to add in the sugar, Next, I am going to add in the wet ingredients, which includes the milk, the heavy cream, egg whites, and last but not least, the activated yeast. Go ahead and stir that around until the wet ingredients has been incorporated, and then we are going to go in with our hands. You can totally use this recipe for bread makers, KitchenAid stand mixers, but I'm just going to show you guys how to make it from scratch with no machines today. So I'm just going to grab the dry flour and knead it into the dough ball and keep doing that until it forms a smooth dough ball. And if it's too dry like this, sometimes different brands of flour can have different moisture levels. So I'm just going to add in about a tablespoon of cream here and knead that in. So if you find your dough to be too wet, you can add in a little bit more of all-purpose flour, or the other way around, then you can add in a little bit of moisture. So I'm just adding a heavy cream here because I like the taste of heavy cream. So after I knead the heavy cream in, I knead it again for another 15 minutes and it became a smooth ball like this. And I'm just gonna wrap it into a plastic wrap and let it sit for another 10 to 15 minutes. So 15 minutes later, the dough has all rested and it's all smooth and ready to go. I'm going to start with half of the dough first because it's easier to handle, and just for filming purposes, it's faster to make. But I will make the rest after I finish this and steam it together. So I like to dust the top and the bottom with a little bit of flour just to make sure it doesn't stick to anything. And then I'm just gonna roll it out into a large rectangle and roll that in and make steamed buns. But if you are not gonna make the type of steamed buns with like what I'm doing here, then you can divide it into portions and put filling in it. So if you don't really care how your buns look, as long as they taste good, you can totally omit this step, but I like to make them look a little bit prettier, so I like to just trim the sides off. And you can use the trimmed sides for something else, whatever you wish. Okay, when our dough is ready to go, just pinch the ends and roll it towards one side, like making a Swiss roll. And then make sure you pinch the bottom to seal them. And there you have it. After you portion them out, you can let them sit in a warm place for about 40 minutes or so, or until it has doubled in size, and you can steam them on high heat for 7 to 8 minutes depending on how big your buns are. If you're doing about the same portion sizes as me, I steamed them for 8 minutes on medium-high heat. You can use any type of steamer you want. I'm just gonna be using a stainless steel one today, but just make sure that it's a steamer with hose on the bottom so water won't form and won't pull on the bottom and make your bread all soggy. After that, let it sit in a warm place for about 40 minutes or so, and we are ready to steam them on high heat for 7 to 8 minutes. And you can just enjoy how squishy and how fluffy these breads are. And that's it. That's how you make a basic steamed bun recipe. And if you have any questions, just let me know. And I'll see you guys very soon. Bye!